Bored with games. There's nothing more frustrating than punching out a few pieces for a new board game, only to realize when it's time to put it away that the game no longer fits into the box. In this video, I'm looking at alternatives to board game inserts to organize your boxes and get your game to and from the table more effectively. Most board games come with inserts, whether cardboard or plastic, to organize the components. However, not all inserts will support expansions or help organize components for players. These are my top solutions for board game component organization. First is the zip bag. These are available virtually everywhere and in a variety of sizes to hold cards or other components. I've seen more board games including these in the box, however they may not always serve their purpose. For instance, you may want to organize your bags to contain everything a player needs to start the game. Their advantages: availability, variety, and low cost. Their disadvantages: setup time is slower taking everything out of bags and placing it onto the table, and they don't protect cards very well for bends once placed into the box. I'll open my box of The Lost Ruins of Arnak as an example. Everything here is in a zip bag to fit into the box. The cards are still fairly straight, but still at risk of bending. On the plus side, CGE is releasing a larger box to properly store everything in August 2025. Next, we have containers. They can consist of smaller plastic boxes or even condiment holders. Like Baggies, these can be found in dollar stores as well as larger retail stores. They come in a variety of colors, shapes, and sizes. Unlike bags, components placed within the containers are at a lower risk of being damaged. The downside is the limitation and availability of the size of these products. In action, I use these in a lot of games to decrease the setup time. Here we have the game Lueur, or Glow in English. I simply open the small containers and we're ready to go. Next is the upscale version of the individual boxes known as bit boxes or crafting organizers. These are designed for drill or screwdriver bits, buttons, and the sort. They are relatively easy to find in dollar stores, hardware stores, and craft stores. I use these for organizing a lot of tokens, dice, or other doodads that form the reserve in games. On the plus side, they can hold a lot of items in one container. Some boxes can be customized, allowing you to increase the size of the compartments. On the downside, they can take up a lot of box space, and sizes are somewhat limited. In action, I use these for Quacks of Quedlinburg to organize the tokens. I've removed dividers to increase the size of some compartments. Next are foam core inserts. These inserts can be custom made using regular foam core or XPS foam. For those not into crafting, there are foam core kits available on the market, with the leading brand being Folded Space. Either method requires these to be assembled and glued using regular bond glue. The result is a sturdy, lightweight insert. The cost for purchasing Folded Space inserts can add up in the long run. Custom-built foam core inserts will cost the base of the material, any tools or accessories, but more importantly, time. I did build an insert using XPS foam for my 10th anniversary Stone Age. It was somewhat successful, but the foam is very staticky, so I wound up tossing it. Lastly, we have the most expensive startup option, and that is 3D printed inserts. These are designed by the board gaming community members. The ones I've printed thus far have been outstanding. Once the initial cost is covered, there's still material and finding the right inserts for you. Time is the other big expense, as print times can run from anywhere between 2 to 16 hours. This White Castle 3D print insert from JS500 is an absolute gem. See the link in the description. Not only does it decrease setup time, but its functional design also keeps pieces in place for playing the game. Putting the game away is satisfying, like completing a multi-line row in Tetris. The advantages of 3D inserts are a highly customized, functional insert optimizing box space, and these are mostly available to download for free. I do encourage giving tips to the 3D modelers for their work. I'll compare multiple ways of organizing board games using Orléans as an example. The first method of storing and organizing is using a combination of bits boxes and baggies. And while it fits, sort of, there is a risk of damaging components over time. The box cover does not close all the way either. Next, we have the Folded Space insert. The box cover does fit rather well here. The bags fit nicely into the open area. Now let's pull out the trays. They organize the components well, the location holder keeps the cards secure, while the money and resource trays help decrease setup time. Finally, we have the 3D printed insert. Link in the description. This insert is optimal for setting up the game. Each player has everything required in their boxes. Each component is segregated and ready to place next to the board with each resource in their own spot. A small issue with this print is the instructions state you to print 6 containers. However, the last one is slightly wider, so you'll need to adjust that in your 3D software. The box closes well, but is not completely flush. On that note, that is all for this video. Which method of inserts do you use to store and set up your games? Let me know in the comments below, and I'll see you in the next one.